So they got all these new flavors that are coming out in the K-Cups. Caramel me crazy. Come on.
That sounds good.
Yeah, but they're doing these cutesy things.
Yeah.
Cinnamania and Turtle Love. Those are the new little flavors from Dunkin'.
Turtle coffee. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of flavor.
That's chocolate, right?
It's like
Turtle?
chocolate, pecan, and probably caramel together.
All in a coffee
That's
flavor.
what I'm thinking. That's a little over the top. And I don't like the cinnamon coffees so much. So the Cinnamania, not so much. But what's the caramel one? Caramel me crazy?
Caramel me crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
That's where I would live.
Caramel me crazy, caramel me crazy, whatever you say.
You say caramel, I say caramel.
Yeah, all that stuff. And chocoholic pancake.
No.
So is it going to taste like maple?
It might.
Chocolate and maple and pancake and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you're a Dunkin' fan, they've got them at some grocery stores in the K-Cups.
And you don't like flavored coffee.
Oh.
I love it.
I'm not a frou-frou guy at all.
I had hazelnut this morning. Oh, hazelnut.
Hazelnut coffee?
Yeah.
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 I'll drink it if it's the only thing around.
Yeah.
But it's not my first choice.
Oh, no. I want hazelnut coffee, hazelnut creamer. As much hazelnut as I can get in that coffee, I'm good.
Okay. Well,
Yummy.
There you go.
Rob and Liz, his morning crew.
So her name is Kate, and she tweeted out a picture of these bobcats, and there's 3. It looks like a mama and 2 babies that are basically laid up at the front door, right on the porch, and they've been there, she says, for about a month. And I guess she's called the parks people and the animal people, the animal rescue, and they're like, look, we're just going to leave them there.
I know. It's like, why can't you just relocate them? And they said, listen, they're very territorial. And if you move them, especially the bobcats' babies, will not survive.
Right. And
at all.
They'll really come back because they feel like that is now their territory. I mean, they've got shade. They're lounging on the loungers that are on the front porch. But yeah, some people, when she posted or she tweeted this out, were saying, oh, give them water, give them food. And she's like,
what?
It's not like a stray cat. I don't want them to stick around.
She's got a dog, too. Yeah. Her dog's on quarantine, so to say. It's like, I cannot let my dog out.
Well, how could you? Because the cats will be like, oh, lunch.
Yeah, right.
So, yeah. Ooh, I've had stray cats and dogs on the front porch before. Never bobcats.
Rob and Liz, his morning crew.
They're looking at making another Fantastic Four movie, and it seems like in the last decade, maybe 15 years, there have been quite a few different Fantastic Four movies that have been made, and they haven't been great. And that's not necessarily my opinion. That seems to be the world's opinion. But John Krasinski is who they're looking at playing Mr. Fantastic. And John Krasinski, he played Jim on The Office. He was in A Quiet Place. I mean, he's been in these really big blockbuster movies. But that's who the fans want to see play Mr. Fantastic.
Oh, he's not going to.
Not necessarily. They haven't cast the role yet. They haven't cast, what's her name? Miss Invisible, I think's her name. Sue Storm.
Oh, no, I've never seen her.
You've never seen Fantastic Four?
I've never seen.
Oh, Miss Invisible.
Never mind.
Rob and Liz, his morning crew.
I think Melissa's going to get a lot out of the Backyard Movie Kit and the Dollywood tickets. So is Megan. She has foster kids. She gets to bring her foster kids to Dollywood. And one of our other winners of the Backyard Movie Kit and the Dollywood tickets for Get Out this summer is Tabitha. She hasn't been since she was a little girl. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew on his radio.
Yeah, so it's been a couple of decades. She has kids of her own now. In fact, she said Maddox, who is her son, is going to basically freak out when he finds out that they're going to Dollywood.
Look at that. I love it.
I do too. And we have these Dollywood tickets to give all summer long. So we're not done. It's not like Tabitha won and you're kind of out. Nope, we're giving them away all summer long.
Yeah, because Megan also won. Melissa won. Yep. Maybe you will win. So here's all you need to do for Get Out this summer to win the Dollywood tickets in the Backyard Movie Kit, which also has a popcorn maker included. So you get a big, years worth. Years and years worth of stuff.
Yeah.
That Backyard Movie Kit. Just text the word. Did you hear that?
I did.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Because I'm not. Text the word outside to 800-447-7234. You can go to hisradio.com and even tap on the My His Radio app.
Rob and Liz, his morning crew.
Well, here's 3 sisters, and one is Mackenzie. And she's had a really tough life. When she was 17 months old, had a heart transplant.
Oh.
Yeah, she had heart disease.
An infant.
An infant.
Wow.
So you fast track to a couple of years ago. She's about 13 years old.
Okay.
In 2019, her heart starts to fail and her kidneys start to fail. So they take her immediately to the hospital. She hung on and fought for a year, but nothing became available. No new heart, no kidney, and she passed away in July last year in 2020.
heartbreaking.
Yeah. But she was so close to her sisters. Her sisters want to do something and make people aware that there is such a need for people to be organ donors. So what they're doing now is they put up an lemonade stand.
Oh, cool.
And raise $6,000.
Oh, to get awareness out there as well.
Yeah, and giving it all to donate life.
Oh, I love that her life has been inspiring to not only her family, but now it's making an impact on others who hear the story.
Yeah, and her sisters are so cute because now they make cake pops. So they're doing that every night, and they put all their cotton candy together, and they get on their lemonade stand on their front lawn and sell all this stuff. And $6,000.
Wow.
At 25 cents a piece. So that's a lot of
That's
lemonade.
a lot of
right?
lemonade and cake pops for sure. Wow.
But they're doing it and making such a great impact and keeping their sister's memory alive.
Rob and Liz, his morning crew.
Yes, I have a friend that is late to everything. So much so that I started telling her to be at a place, like if we were meeting somewhere, be there 15 or 30 minutes early because I knew she was still going to be late. There was one time we were meeting for lunch and I waited about an hour to an hour and a half before I went ahead and
That's
ordered.
late.
Oh, that
I understand 5-10 minutes,
Right.
but an hour and 15?
Oh, no,
You stuck around?
I just went ahead and ordered.
Did you leave?
I did at the end, and I was like, look, I've invested. And so after that, I learned my lesson. Love her to death. And this is one of her idiosyncrasies. And I just said, we're just going to meet at my house. We're never going to meet at your house because I'm just not going to hang while you get ready or, wait till you show up. And so I just learned that this is what we need to do to make this friendship work.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, good for you.
It takes a lot of patience, but then
Well, you really
again-
like the person.
Oh, I
so,
do,
yeah.
right. And on the flip side of that is I show up early to a lot of places. That's not necessarily great either.
Well, it depends. I'm usually 10, 15 minutes early.
I've been known to be a half an hour early.
And I'll sit in the driveway if I
Will
have
you?
to, and then walk in, knock on the door 5 minutes early.
There's Rob stalking us again.
Yeah. Well, I hate
get it.
being late.
I do too. Because, I have heard, what is it? If you're on time, you're late. Mm-hmm. And if you're early, you're on time.
On time is 15 minutes early.
Yeah.
If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, you're really late.
Yeah. I know people that are married that one is just habitually late. And so, the one tells them to be there a little earlier. Is that wrong? Do you think that's wrong? To tell somebody we need to be there at 7:15 when it actually doesn't start till 7:30.
It's not wrong, but people catch on to that.
Well, sometimes
pretty
I guess,
easily, yeah.
Yeah. No, we don't. We don't
So,
have to be there.
how about the scenario in your family? Who's early? Who's late? What is it like for you?
How do you live with it?
You don't need to tattle.
Oh no.
No. Nor do we need to bash anybody.
Rob and Liz. His morning crew.
Hearing from Eileen this morning. What's up, Eileen?
My sister-in-law is forever late. So I started telling her 30 minutes beforehand that she needed to be there. She caught on to that. So now I tell her an hour ahead.
And then the next course, 90 minutes ahead.
As long as I keep giving her that extra time, I get her showing up right on time every time.
Works until they catch on, right, Eileen?
Yeah, it's a day and a half later. Let's see. Joyce texted and said, I am that habitually late person, and it drives my husband, Steve, absolutely crazy. We've been married 5 years, and Joyce says, I think he should be used to it. Stop getting
But
upset.
it still drives you crazy, doesn't it, Steve? I'm so sorry.
And then Margie said, okay, I am the one who is always late, and I hate it. Of course, my husband likes to be early, but I feel like I'm cursed to be late because no matter how early I get up for work, I'm always late. Something always comes up or distracts me, just like typing this text, LOL.
Margie.
Rob and Liz. His morning crew.
It's Taco Thomas. Taco Thomas has become such a good friend in the past 12 years. She texts her order ahead of time. I mean, she's there several times a week, so she goes right on up, and Taco Thomas goes, "Hey, car, here you go. Here are your tacos," whatever she orders from there. It's always good. All of a sudden, she stopped going. And one day goes by, another day goes by, a couple of weeks goes by, and Taco Thomas is like, "What happened?"
Yeah.
So he picks up the phone and calls.
Yeah, because he had her phone number. Like you said, she'd been texting in her order for years, and they had kind of a relationship as far as friends go. And so he called to check on her. Well, she went on social media and said, "Just thinking back to the time where my favorite food truck checked in on me when I wasn't there for a couple weeks, because for 12 years she'd been showing up 2-3 times a week." Yeah, he called to check on her. So when she posted it, that thing is going viral because that's customer service.
She was sick.
Yeah.
Short of the
was
story,
sick.
she was sick.
Yeah.
And he noticed
Right.
that she was gone.
And he checked on her to make sure she was okay, because as a regular customer and a friend after all that time, he wanted to check on his friend.
I'm glad he did that.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you why. When I was down, now granted, when I was down for 4.5 months, it was COVID.
Oh, right.
But I'll tell you, that's a lonely experience when all of a sudden people just forget about you.
Well, because
they do.
Well, it's
Life
out
is
of
going
sight.
on.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind almost. And so if that person isn't in your life, sometimes you get so busy with things going on, and that's terrible
Yeah,
to be the person.
and it's nobody's fault.
No.
It's nobody's fault. But then I started thinking, okay, who do I need to check up on that I haven't seen in a while? Because maybe something's going on that I don't know about.
Gives you a different perspective.
Rob and Liz.
His Morning Crew.
Another remake of another TV show. Rob and Liz, His Morning Crew on His Radio.
Yeah, so this is Fantasy Island, and when I was a kid, I wasn't able to stay up and watch it. I think it was on at like 10 o'clock or something like that, and subject matter could be, a little iffy sometimes, so the parents were like, "Nope, you're not watching it." They're rebooting it. And so Hervé Villachez played Tattoo on the show. And, oh, my goodness, Ricardo Montalban played the original guy. So
Guy with a tan.
Like the Evertan, sort of, yeah. So it's a luxury resort, and people come to this island to have, whatever their dream is come to life.
This one scares me.
It does.
I'm sorry, because
It
I think it's
does.
going to be something that the kids and even adults shouldn't watch.
Well, true.
I don't know what they're going to do with it.
Right.
So I'm just guessing, but the way that, things get so racy on TV, I'm thinking, wow, they're going to take too much liberties with this.
Yeah. And as a kid, I was not able to stay up. I can't imagine. I think they'll put it on at 8 o'clock. I mean, but.
Well, it's streaming now. You can watch it anytime you want. Who
Yeah.
watches live TV anymore?
Well,
anyway?
that is true. That is true. But I'm thinking, you know what you could reboot, which I think would be really good? Knight Rider. That was such a good show.
Oh, the talking car one.
Yeah, the talking car one, Miami Vice. I watched that as when I got a little older, because it was also on like after 10 o'clock or something. But I loved the music, the sounds.
You can tell she was born pre-streaming
Exactly.
days.
Exactly.
You had to watch it in dedicated time.
Yeah, but there's a couple of Wizards of Waverly Place was cute. I thought that was a cute show.
I've never watched that.
My daughter liked that one as a kid. So, there's some reboots coming out that aren't so bad. But the Fantasy Island one, I'm with you. I'm going to skip it.
Yeah, I say if it was good back when,
Yeah.
why redo it now?
Yeah, just watch the old ones.
Be creative and make something new. And could you make it a little wholesome, please? Thank you.
Rob and Liz.
His Morning Crew.
The kids are begging to play more and more and more. You might want to let them. His Morning Crew with Rob and Liz.
No. I got a 13-year-old. We got to pry the gaming devices out
That
of.
is true.
Oh, man. I literally shut it off.
Oh, you have to.
I have an app where I can shut devices off of Wi-Fi, and I have these things on schedules in my house.
That's a part of technology
Seriously,
I love.
I do like that.
Yeah.
But here are half Americans say, hey, we give our success over to gaming. Because we're gamers, we're very highly successful. I'm like, what?
How does that... the gamers that I know, not necessarily
Problem
the most
solving and
successful.
stuff like that.
I
And
do see that.
Yeah, and so it's not like really hardcore.
Right.
I mean, you have the kids that are on Switch and all this other stuff that they have going on, and I mean, it's like, hey, because we can, figure out things,
Yeah.
we're pretty successful in life.
I mean, I can see if you're highly motivated that you can take the skills that you learn playing video games, like you say, problem solving, that type of thing, maybe even social skills if you're playing with other people. But I would not say that's typical. But that's just me. I wouldn't say so.
No, but I'm not telling my 13-year-old this.
Oh, no, not
It's hard enough one to, you know.
My 18-year-old, I'm like, get down there, clean your room, get off that game all the time. So, yeah. You like that? Because I can yell at you if your office gets dirty. Would you want me to do that?
It will not get dirty.
So you don't want me yelling at you
No,
like that?
no.
Rob, get in here!
I'm getting off my video game now.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Sparky's got a different kind of viewpoint, he says. It's Rob and Liz, his morning crew, his radio, 800-447-7234. So we're talking about how video games, some people say, I'm successful today because I play video games.
And we tried to talk it out a little bit and try to think that through. And where could you be successful?
Listen, I have a 13-year-old that's so addicted to it, I have to turn it off at night. Through literally, I have an app that turns devices off of Wi-Fi. And I'm like,
I can just
oh my
see,
word. Now, what are your thoughts about this, Sparky?
You know, the last time they christened a Navy ship in Charleston a few years ago, I went aboard, and these guys are high-tech, but they're also video high-tech. And most of their jobs have to do with it's like a video game. They get on their computers to do almost everything now. I guess look down on people that were gamers and stuff until I went on that ship. I'm like, wow, these guys are ahead of it, you know. So even the propulsion system or the steering of the ship has a lot to do with gaming, which I was shocked. I'm like, you don't have a wheel on this thing? What's a wheel? You know?
No, just a joystick.
Guy that's driving it has a joystick, and then he has it's something that he has in his hand to push the propulsion up and down. It's not anything like it used to be.
No, you're right. I mean, TJ was in the Navy.
Yeah.
Nuclear, right? You're in a nuclear plant?
Yes, I was a nuclear mechanic.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
so all video stuff?
Not on my ship. My ship was kind of old.
I was going to say, you had an older ship.
Yeah.
How old is old?
So the Nimitz was the first in its class, and that was CVN 68. And I was on CVN 69, which was the Eisenhower. So it was old.
All right.
It was like the second one of the class, and we had a lot more than that.
No video capabilities there like that.
No, it was all old school valves, turning them by hand, everything like that. So.
See, he had to do it real old school.
Yeah, you go back and get it new school.